God. The white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, need the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to prop. One step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
So y'all think it's just a
It's Shalom, yo, by Shemar Ashar, Barakatham, so the brother Shalom, now Shamar, Allah by Shemar Ashar, so the sisters, ISUK, Minnesota, with the Brotherhood Class, and also too, Shalom, yo, Shamar, Allah by Shemar Ashar, to the sisters as well, all right? Today we are going to go over a few things as the teacher comes in. And by the way, yeah, Shalom to the brother, Shalom to the sister as well. Shalaki, we having some technical difficulties. I guess in this area that we're at right now, there was a power outage. So I guess it's fixed right now since we're live. So all sign in Christ. This work doesn't stop. Let me see here. 1 second. So yeah, there was a power outage. That's why the other live is down right now. But you know, we restarted it. The internet looks like it's Tawab, so we should be good to go. Once again, if anybody has any, if anybody has questions or concerns, go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, and we will get to those questions. All right. Otherwise, last week when I was teaching, we spoke about Esau's demise and Israel, you know, being born again, or pretty much just, you know, their rise. All right. Esau is going to be our oppressor, who is the one that's ruling over us right now, who runs America. Because we know that America is white. Okay. The so-called Europeans, Caucasians, Khazars, whatever you want to call them, they're all the same. So if you want a better visual, Russia against Ukraine. Those are two different white people. I mean, they are all white, Slovakia. They just have two different names, okay? Based on tribes, because even other nations have tribes, if you do not know. That's why if you say European, Khazars, um, I mean, Amalek. I mean, those are all still the same people, okay? I'll give you a common one. If you say, Black, Jamaican, Haitian, those are all still Black people, all right? If you say Puerto Rican, Mexican, Guatemalan, Ecuadorian, those are still Hispanics, all right? There are tribes of nations, of people, or otherwise a group, so to speak, all right? So there are many tribes of nations, so to speak, all right? Because Hispanics are not a nation by themselves. They are a part of a nation, which is Israel. Same thing when it comes to when we say black, so-called blacks, so-called Negroes, that's talking about the children of Israel, which they are. Because anybody can have, you know, dark skin pigmentation, but that does not mean that they are the same as so-called African Americans, all right? Because of course, skin color does not determine your nationality, not at all right? Like for example, I'll give y'all some, right? A Asian guy just asked me at the slave, just probably what, like last week maybe. Yeah, I want to say last week or probably Monday. He was like, "Are you mixed?" And I'm like, "No." And I laughed about it. I was like, "Not at all. No, I ain't mixed at all." I said, "Both of my parents are darker than me." I said, "No." I said, I'm light, but they are darker than me. If anybody does not know, even heathens can make a baby who has some type of pigmentation to them. Pigmentation meaning that they have some type of color to them. Also, too, even black people can make a baby to where the baby looks nothing like the parents whatsoever. So with no pigmentation. Or you have interracial parents where the child takes on the appearance of a parent who has no pigmentation. So it's all about the genetics and things of that sort. You know what I mean? So it can go any way. All right, but that's why we always say skin color does not determine your nationality. You can have a dark parent and a light parent, and a child can take the appearance of whichever the Lord decides. That's how it goes. All right. But what matters is who is the father. Because you are the seed of your father. It's not about how you look, it's about the seed. And usually, as far as the seed, I mean, also too, of the spirit. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I mean, like if you're seasoned in the truth, it's not hard to see who is who. If they're a Hebrew or if they are a heathen. It's not so hard to see. All right. You know what I mean? There's a spirit to everything. Don't be so carnal and look at how a person looks. You know what I mean? Shit. I done seen a lot of people who I thought were heathens but come out to be Hebrews, and then also the other way around. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the people that I work with, I went to school with, I have interactions with. You know what I mean? Who I met off the street based on a certain encounter and things of that sort. Like, I mean, it's just one guy. who I knew in high school. I thought he was Esau, a white person, right? The whole time he was Korean. His father was Korean, his mother was Italian, but he looks just like his mother, not his father whatsoever. I'm talking about nothing says about this person that says Korean. It's white. You know what I mean? And at that time, back at that time, I was very young at that time, so I was carnal. You know what I mean? Still learning, still trying to grasp the truth and things of that sort. But of course, things are different in this day and time. So yeah, I mean, the whole time he's really Korean. Although he looks like a different nation or a different, type of people, he's really Korean. All right, because that's what his father is. Okay. So yeah, but I mean, once again, skin color does not determine your nationality. That's why we always say blacks are not the same as the Africans. Also, too, there was a point in time where people would say if someone that was lighter skinned, they are white. That's not true because you have different shades of Hispanics, different shades of blacks, different shades of Native Indians. So you got to be very careful when you say stuff like that. All right? You got to be very careful because it's not about how you look, it's about the seed. Who is the seed? So if an orange and an apple get married or they come together, right? You have to see who is the true seed. Okay? Who is the dominant, who is the man as far as the seed? Because the seed is, last time I checked, the seed starts in a man's nutsack. All right? A woman doesn't have that. In order for a woman to get pregnant, the seed has to, hit the egg. That's how pregnancy happens. That's how a child is formed. And then later, 9 months or more, probably some less premature, a child is born. So where does it start from? The start is from the man, the ending is from the woman. The man has to put seed into the woman for it to hit the egg, and then boom, the baby pops out months later. That's how science is. That's reality. That's life. Okay. Otherwise, so like, let me see. Would it be considered a curse or judgment to be light skinned? Nah. But as far as one curse, I would say, okay, how white people look today, that's called the form of leprosy. That is a thing. So the fact that you can see their veins, you can see the blood pumping through their body, that is a curse. All right. Otherwise, that was never supposed to be a thing. But because, the actions of our oppressor, he brought it on to himself and the Lord cursed him. It's called the mark of Cain. All right. If you want me to, I'll go over that another time. Yep. So the mark of Cain is a thing. You know what I mean? But of course, if you are once again, my parents are darker than me. All right, they are darker than me. I'm just a little light. Okay, um, you know what I mean. Otherwise, once again, I didn't see face to face two people who have colors to them, and their baby is a completely different shade of color. You know what I mean? Now, if that is the case, it could be a curse from the Most High based on how they lived their last, past life. It can be, I mean, maybe a certain gene, and a certain gene as far as, I mean, you might have, a different race of people in your family. I mean, it could be all types of things. You know what I mean? So that's more digging into. You know what I mean? Otherwise, as far as how Esau, is as a people, that's a curse. And the way that they look is a reminder of the curse that they have, which is the mark of Cain. Of course, if you have a heathen parent and you take on the features of the heathen parent, I mean, that's what it is. And it doesn't always just have to be, Esau. It could be a different other nation. You know what I mean? Because you have Israelites out here who look like East Indians, who, Arabs, uh, Africans, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But like for example, I met a man before who actually showed proof. Um, he's from the islands. He's from the islands, and his father, what I mean, is from the islands, but he had married or slept with a woman who was white. Now he looks white, but his father is Caribbean, all right, or like the black tribes. You know what I mean? So-called Negro, so-called Benjamin, um, Jamaican, all that stuff, all right? You know what I mean? So, but he doesn't look like his father. He looks like the mother. Okay. So I hope that does answer your question. Otherwise, you want to keep going and ask more questions. Go ahead. Otherwise, shalom to the sister, shalom to the other sister. Most high in Christ. All right. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, you know what I mean. Once again, skin color does not determine your nationality. Now we live in a world where we are so carnal that we look at people right for what they are. So you may see a person who has a different shade, tone, skin as you. So you may automatically assume that they are this. You know, in my practice, in my training, in EPK, I always ask, "What are you?" You know what I mean? Now sometimes it can be very obvious, like yeah, I'm black. Well, I'm white. You know what I mean? But it's always good to ask and never to assume because you may never know. You know what I mean? So like for example, right? It was this one brother. You know what I mean? At the slave, I wasn't sure what he was, but like part of me thought that he might be a heathen, but part of me thought that he might be a Hebrew, but I wasn't too sure because his features was confusing me just a little bit. There are some people on this earth where you look at them, you're not sure what they are, but you may assume, right? So I asked the question, and he turns out to be a brother. Both parents are Judites, you know what I mean? But his features look like as if he is something else, not Israel whatsoever, right? So I was digging in, just asking questions, and as far as I know, he seems to be a brother. You know what I mean? Same thing with sisters. You know what I mean? You may see someone who has what is called a distinct look about themselves. You're not sure what they are, who they are. So it's best to just ask the question, never assume. All right? You may never know unless you ask the question. Don't assume. Okay? So anyway, let me see. All right, so the sister asks, what she so like, give me one second. A sister asks, "Sir, so is it true that you are born into the same family when you come back on your father's side? If so, does that mean you always had the same mother too?" So, okay, so yes, right? If you are a Judite now, an Ephraimite now, a Gadite now, you will always be that. There's no such thing as being reincarnated into a different tribe or a different race, so to speak. Never. All right. And the Bible teaches you that as well. Okay? Like, for example, when it talks about Cain, right? Now, Esau has the spirit of Cain. But Esau and Cain are the same. They were both Edomites. Yeah. So Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, both the same tribes, so to speak. Now, back then, it wasn't tribes, it was Hebrews, right? But the spirit of it, as far as the actions, how they lived their life, was the same. So imagine Cain and Abel being Jacob and Esau. It's the same. Nothing changed. All right. So no matter what the name is, and the characteristics are always the same. So the spirit is the same. So Cain, Esau, the same. All right. So give me 1 second here. Shalom, Christ. Say it again. Okay. All right. No, sorry. Here I come. All right, no question. All right. Shalaki, if y'all could, Baba Shah, give me a moment real quick. Gotta let in a student, and I'll finish that answer, all right? Or Shalaki, that question. 1 second.
Us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn, Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turn into coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill!
The industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
One West, 12 tribes, UPK.
All right, Shalom, Lil Crush, we back. Shalakia. So now also too, there's a second part to the sister's question as well, right? She had asked, so if so, does that mean you always had the same mother too? So as far as the mother, all right, so you don't have the same mother or father when you come back into the earth. So once you pass away, of course, you are reincarnated into the earth. So we all have been here before. You know what I mean? Just different bodies with the same spirit. So like for example, if you have, let me see. Okay, so if you have been in the truth right now, right? So you found the truth and you stayed in the truth until, you know, death, you know, you was in the truth before, right? Go ahead, see like
Yeah, you know, one time I was a little kid and I was walking through the house and I said to him, I said, for some reason I know I've been here before. And I was trying to see and figure out why, but I couldn't figure it. But I didn't know I was here on earth before. It was just strange. And I was like that.
A lot of children, a lot of children also, what they do is they actually say things like that.
Okay.
They always, you know, wonder like, you know, maybe I've been here before, like, you know, I remember my past life.
Yeah.
But according to the Bible, you don't remember your past life. But of course, there's something inside of us as, you know, as the children of Israel to remind us that reincarnation is a thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Reincarnation is a thing where we've been here before.
Yeah.
I mean, but also too, you gotta ask yourself, why do we act the way that we do? You know what I mean? In everyday life. Why do we? Okay, imagine a family member dying, right? That you love dearly, and then you have a child and you name that child after that loved one that passed away. That's that person that passed away, your child.
Okay.
You know, so your Uncle Mikey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just throwing out a damn name. You know, or Jamal, Raekwon, right? They all passed away. You have a child now. That's Raekwon.
Okay.
That's your brother. That's your uncle. That's your nephew.
Okay.
Keisha passed away. Now you have a daughter, and you name your daughter Keisha. That's Keisha.
Okay.
That's reincarnation.
Okay.
That's part of it. You know what I mean? So that's real. You know what I mean? And you know, we all the time, you know, you'll see children. They're like, hey, you know, where did your name come from? And as far as the world, oh, I was named after my, you know, grandfather. You are the grandfather, but you're just the child now. You know what I mean? I was named after my auntie. You're the auntie. You are reincarnated, and that's how it works. All right. So, okay. So, all right. As far as this, right? All right. The sister said, Salakia, I mean, as far as your mother's tribe, so if she's a Gadite, was her mother always a Gadite? All right. So once again, it's really about the seed of your father, so that can change. It's as far as I know. Damn, let me see. As far as I know, that could change, but I'll double check on that. I'll double check on that. Otherwise, it's more about the seed of the father. As far as the mother, that could be different. I mean, once again, you gotta think about this. You don't have the same. Okay. You don't have the same father or mother, but as far as whatever the father is, that's the tribe you will always be. As far as the mother, I haven't heard too much about that, but I would assume. I mean, but then again, assuming it, I mean, I haven't heard too much about that. I mean, you know how Israel men are, choose any woman, I don't know. But go ahead.
And then my granddad said his father was a native Indian. My granddad weird out, but his daddy was a native Indian here in this land.
You say his grandfather was?
My granddaddy father was a native Indian. So I might be the tribe of Gag.
Okay. Instead of Judah then.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Most High in Christ. All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, if you can find more information about that, that would as well.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Most High in Christ. Yeah. Also, too, yeah. A lot of brothers and sisters find out that they're not this tribe. They're something else. You know what I mean? It's one brother who found out he was a Judah. He was actually Benjamin.
Okay.
So I've seen that, multiple times. So yeah. As far as the sister though, I'm not too sure. I'll double check for you. Yeah, kind of. You know what? I mean, actually, although that you are curious, that is a good question that I've never heard before. So yeah, I do appreciate that. So I'll make sure that I'll double check on that. You know what I mean? So otherwise, if anybody else got any questions, let me know. Yeah. Let me know if anybody else got any more questions. Otherwise, I'll keep it moving. Go ahead. You got something? Okay, no sweat. All right. Otherwise, so like, how you doing, man?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a good minute. It's always good to see you, brother.
You too, likewise.
Damn right. Yeah. I love talking to you on the phone. You know what I mean? So, God. All right. So, let me see. All right. So, no more questions. Otherwise, let's get to the topic. Let me see. So, as far as my topic, until the teacher gets here, once again, Esau's demise and Israel rise, right?
That's right.
Okay. You know what I mean? So, Esau's demise is, the death of this kingdom. And Israel rise is talking about, Black, Hispanic, Native Indians being on top. All right. If I may, you got something good?
Yeah, I read something. There's a apocrypha, but I can't remember what verse. You say the people that have you in subjection, they are more miserable than we are because they have to continue to control us and stuff like that. It was talking about Esau. I can't find an apocrypha though.
I mean, do you know the book?
I forgot. I lost it. I couldn't. I ain't reading what they need.
How recent have you read that?
That been about a month ago.
Okay. Well,
I think it was Ecclesiastes somewhere. But if I find it now, I'll just let you look.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm glad that you brought that up. I would say as a good study tool, anytime that you're studying, scriptures, I would always take notes. Like, for example, right? This is a class, right?
Right.
So what do students do in class as far as school?
Just like say, take notes.
Take notes.
Take
Right,
notes.
right. So with this being a class, you would take notes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, my thing is, although I don't teach and I'm listening to young men or older men teach class, I still take notes.
Right.
That's how much of a student I am. You know what I mean? I still take notes because they might bring out a precept or two that I probably never heard of. Or they might bring out a good point based on that precept because the Spirit of the Lord might be on them to say something different, but that's on point with the precept. You know what I mean? To grab somebody's attention. You know what I mean? It's just although I may be over or under a brother, I still listen to their classes. I still watch their classes. You know what I mean? Because everybody has their own talents.
Right.
And that's what's very much important. You know what I mean? Once you're able to be up on the podium and you're teaching class, you may say something that's just phenomenal. And it's like, damn, okay, I'm gonna use that. That gives me perspective. I can learn from that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, of course, you know, you being a high rank and someone's underneath you, it doesn't mean that you know everything.
Right.
Rank is more responsibility. That's it. You know what I mean? And when I do say a lot of responsibility, a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? And you know, if you brothers, you know, want the rank of a 5,000 or above, you know, just Lord be with you, all right? I ain't saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just it comes with a lot of work. You have a lot to do, and you are dependent on. You will have to be available.
Right.
Who cares if you got kids? Who cares if you got a slavery, which is, you know, we call it job slavery.
Right.
Who cares if you have personal problems? The job that you do in the UPK is every day, all the time, nonstop. The work in the UPK does not sleep.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the time is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The work always continues.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that's the life of a 5,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you have a problem and I'm going through a problem, forget about my problems. What's going on with you out? Sister, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? And you know, I tell brothers and sisters all the time, they be like, oh, is this a good time? Is it a bad time? Don't worry about it. What's going on? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, of course, if it's something super serious that you're not able to get to the phone and you're not able to help out this brother or sister, if it's something super serious, then that's why other men are in line to handle those issues. Otherwise, what's up? Shalom. What's going on? What do you need? No sweat. You know what I mean? Like that's how it goes. Otherwise, you know, I mean, that's life. The UPK is everyday life. All right. So, if you could, Warrior, could you get me, the free set? Let me see. All right. So, last time that we spoke about Esau demise and Israel's rise, right? Stolen identity. This was last week on Wednesday when I did the camp leaders class. Okay. So I believe we need to get into a little bit about who has us in captivity. That's very important right now. Okay. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. And shalom, Lord Christ, to the sister Beatrice. How you doing, sis? All right. Damn right, hey, damn right, sister Anawa, most high Christ. Damn right. Once again, if y'all have questions at any time, put it in the chat. I don't care what time it is. Just put it in the chat. And I'll answer your question until the brother comes. All right. You got it?
Okay, yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. Mm-hmm. The Lord shall bring a nation against a far Salakia, that from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle shall Salakia, as swift as the eagle flies.
Okay. No, so that's Deuteronomy, right?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28, verse 49.
Okay, actually, go to 48.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
No. 28 and 48.
28 and 48, Salakia.
That's right.
Therefore shall thou serve thy enemy
Mm-hmm.
with the Lord shall sin against thee.
All right, 1 second. So I'll put it on the screen real quick for the brothers and sisters. 1 second. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, right? Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. And when it says Lord, right, as far as in bold letters, that's talking about the Most High, right? And in some contexts, it's going to speak about Yahushua, but Yahushua was not around at this time of Moses, right? In a time period. So therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. A lot of people always ask this question, right? Why is this happening to us as a people? The Lord is doing it. You want to know why? Because we are disobedient children.
That's right.
So think of the Most High as a father, which he is. Every time we speak about the Lord's Prayer, right? Every time that we say it, tonight we're going to speak about it. Tomorrow, any class that we have, we always have prayers. And when you hear Abba Abba is father in Hebrew. So the A and the Ba. So A-H-B-A. So A as in apple, H as in Harry, B as in boy, A as in apple, right? Abba is father in Hebrew, right? Nawa, N-A-W-A, that's our. So Abba Nawa. So Abba Nawa is our father. The Most High is a father to us. And he mentioned that all throughout the Bible. He's a father to us. If you disobey what your father says,
No,
oh, okay. If you disobey your father, you have to deal with the consequences and the punishment. That means you have to leave the house. You know what I mean? You got that father who's like, hey, you know, I love you, son. I love you, daughter, but you're not respecting this household. You're not respecting me or your mother or me. So you have to go. You got to find somewhere else to go because this is getting out of hand. You have a mother who's like, hey, I love you to death, but it's time for you to go.
Right.
So you got to go. The Most High is a father to us. And when we don't listen to the Most High, he shows us what time it is. It's called punishment.
That's right.
So when you get the coronavirus, that's the belt to your ass.
Right.
When when your father tells you, don't grow up in my household to be a homosexual, you get STDs because you did not listen.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Don't be with that man. Don't be with that woman. You know what I mean? Don't do this, don't do that. But now you're in jail. You're a criminal. You suffered abuse. You went through all this trouble for what? You know what I mean? So that's what the Most High is to us. He is a father. Obedience is doing what someone says. That's what obedience is. All right? And I spoke about this before. Faith is not believing. It's more than just that. So that's part of it, but it's more of obedience. So if you say that you love God, you would do what God says. If you love your parents like you say you do, you would do what they say.
That's right.
If a child loves their parents, they would do what they say. You know what I mean? If you are a wife to a husband and you love your husband, you will listen to him.
That's right.
But now this is the thing. For brothers and sisters who have a marriage in the world, right? Only listen to what is lawful from your man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say that you are a sister in the school, but you have a husband who's in the world, right? Listen to the things that he said that is lawful. And I have to mention that because too many times a question like that always comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you are a brother who is married to a sister in the world, you know what I mean? Now, of course, a man doesn't follow orders from a woman, but a woman can have good suggestions, good ideas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, as a man, sit there and listen and see, if this is logical, if it's wise, based on your wife's ideas or suggestions. All right?
Mm-hmm.
If she's telling you, yeah, we should rob this bank, we should scam, don't listen to that. If she's saying, you know what, I think that we should get counsel. You know what, I think that, we should not eat this or eat that. You know what I mean? Match it up to what the law says. Match it up to what the Bible says, what the Lord says. Don't go off what you think and how you feel. Be careful. You know what I mean? Because a woman is stronger than alcohol.
Right.
She's stronger than kings. That's in the Bible.
Yeah,
a woman has a good influence on you to where, you start to do drugs because of woman. You would kill the whole neighborhood for a woman, whether she's wrong or she's right. You know what I mean? You go to jail behind a woman. So be careful. Watch yourself as a man.
Right.
All right. That's why in the UPK we raise men to never be in that situation. You don't abuse your power. You use your power for the right thing. You know what I mean? So that way you are the head of the house. She's not the head of the household. And a real woman, she wants her man to be the head of the household.
Right.
A real woman doesn't want to have to battle or to have to challenge her man to be masculine or to be a man in general. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. That doesn't make sense. All right? So anyway, it's a lot. Let me go ahead and get back to this. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst. What is that in hunger and thirst about?
All it does, these are all wants. We're going to need it, we're going to thirst. We have to back the oppressed players, need food. Money, just resources. Because he possessed them, we're going to thirst for it. We can't eat in our own kingdom.
So you said the hunger and the thirst is about, you said what again? You said resource?
Yeah, resources and stuff like that. Housing, home, clothes, food, medicine.
You know what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna give you a hand because that's right. That's right. Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah. It's not talking about physical hunger or thirst as far as food and water. It's that, but it's more to it.
Right.
You gotta understand how how Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, how we speak as a people. We are very poetic. We use metaphors, allegories, analogies, things of that sort, figurative language. You know what I mean? So that's right. Absolutely. We need resources. That's why we are depending on Section 8. We are depending on food stamps, the government. When there's no Black men in the household, who do our sisters rely on? The government.
Government, right. Our
oppressors. You can't say that you independent. You know what I mean? You can't you can't say that you independent when you are depending on somebody or someone. And if you are so-called independent, it sounds like you don't have a man in the household. You want somebody else's income, someone else's resource. You're not independent. You are very much dependent. And accept that. All right? Accept that you are dependent on somebody else's resource. Okay? Now, of course, you may have some sisters who are completely independent, who are making their own money and things of that sort. But don't get a big head, because at the end of the day, you still need a male figure in your life. If you don't have a strong male guardian who raised you right, or a father, I mean, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, you might live your life in a way that you were never supposed to live it.
Right.
You might be a whore. You might, think that you should be dominant over men. You feel me? And also too, and the reason why I'm speaking about this is because that's something that has to be a part of Esau's demise. And when I speak about Esau's demise, it should be the demise of women who are Israelites as a whole, because that's problems going on in the black community today. This is a brotherhood and sisterhood class. All right. So you have to mention these issues because that is a problem in our communities today. You want to say something?
Yeah, being a bitch in the household, want to be dominant, like serious, generalized term, abusing you all in your house. Whatever you got in the house.
Like I said, I was trying to, ease my way into it, but like you said, being a bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? You cannot be that. All right? No one wants a bitch. Okay? No one wants that. Who wants a nagging wife? Who wants someone who just, just constantly, just always have something to say? All right? Nobody wants that. But, of course, with those issues, get counsel. Even when you don't feel like getting counsel about your marriage, get counsel if you think that it's needed. And the result of it will come out and you will see the fruits of it. All right? Okay? If you truly trust and believe in your marriage and you want to save your marriage instead of giving up like a lot of cowards do, you know what I mean? Get counsel from a UPK. Do not talk to your mother. Do not talk to the pastor, because they are not going to give you what you need. They're going to give you what makes you feel better, what makes you feel good. And be careful. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't get wicked counsel from these people.
I'll give you a hand again. There you go. The brother said you will get wicked counsel. It's best to get counsel from the brothers in the UPK. Now, also, too, of course, right? There are sisters who can give wise counsel. Yes. But once again, we suggest getting counsel from the brothers in the school. All right. Now, also, too, people in the world can give wise counsel based on what they've been through, experience, and things of that sort. My counsel to you is to be careful when you are trying to get counsel from people in the world.
Right.
Because some things may sound great. It may sound like it's the right thing, whether it's going against how you feel and how you think, yes. But then later on, they might say the wrong thing where it might put a demon back on you to be the way that you have been. So be careful. And UPK, we are, okay, we don't care, if you're this husband or that wife, and I mean, all that, like, we don't care, like, we don't have favorites, if that makes sense.
Right.
We don't have favorites and all that stuff. Like, it's not about if you are a brother or a sister, we are on the brother's side more versus the sister side more. Like, it's not about that. Okay? We are about justice.
That's right.
The world picks favorites.
Right.
And here we are about justice.
Right.
No one cares if you are such and such wife, such and such, husband, you done this work, that work. It's not about that. Right. It's about getting justice about this problem that you two have. Go ahead.
Just in the right and the wrong.
Say again.
Just in the right and the wrong. Whether you're high or you're low. You did wrong, you will be condemned for what you did. Also, too, if you are offended by somebody in the world, you can take them to counsel. Right. That also is in the Bible. You could take somebody to counsel in the world. All right. Also, too, people that are in the world will call the UPK for counsel. That's right. Just to let you know that we have a system that's of the Lord.
and nothing else that you have ever seen in your life. A Christian church is nothing like the UPK whatsoever. So understand this. Come to the UPK because we have the answers. If you think otherwise, Lord be with you in your life because it may fall apart. And that's not out of hatred, that's just the truth. You might just not be successful. You know what I mean? People say that they hate the UPK, but they come to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we don't beg nobody to come to us. They just willingly come to us. Even the people who speak bad about us. No sweat. Once again, Lord be with you, man.
That's right.
All right? You say you got to figure it out? No sweat. All right? Let's move on to the people who actually are serious and who wants to take our counsel that's going to save their lives. Because we ain't going to tell you something that's going to kill you.
That's right.
We are going to tell you something that's going to help you live. And if you do not know by now, the truth is an opportunity for you to live, not to die.
All right.
I pray that you have never, ever experienced this. Have you ever lost a child? Have you ever lost your wife, your husband? Have you ever lost a close friend to you? Now, of course, a lot of us, we lost someone close to us. But what if you came into UPK and you start to see the people that you truly love and you start to tell them about the truth and they get on board and you never see them go anywhere. Now, of course, in the UPK, death is still possible. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You may pass away from old age, a born illness, something like that. But in the UPK, you will never see no one die from gun violence. You will never see someone die from, sleeping with another man's wife. A woman is sleeping with a man that's not her husband. Drug abuse, alcoholism. You will never see that in UPK, but you will see that in the world. So understand the difference. And these are two different Asian societies, two different worlds.
Right.
We live in two different places, man. You live in the world, we live in the truth.
That's right.
Either you come on to the dark side, right? You know how they say in the Star Wars, right? You want to come to the dark side, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you want to go on the other side. And the reason why I say dark side is because this goes against everything that the world is about. Of course, the world is really dark. It has no light to it. You know what I mean? But I say the dark side because this is where real men and real women are born at.
That's right.
And the world, they look at us as if we are dark, if we are, disgusting and filthy, when it's really the other way around. Okay? Right here, you will find the light. And the light is shine on the darkness just to show something. So the truth is shining that light to show the proof and the truth of everything. That's why Christ is a nigga.
That's right.
That's what he is. He's a black man.
That's right.
Our king, the Mashiach, he is a black man. Yeah. All right. Say it again.
I would say Mashiach.
Yeah, that's right. Yahweh Shah the Mashiach. The water. You know what I mean? Our king, he is a black man.
That's right.
Okay? That's the truth. That's the light that we shine on the world. Because they show you a white man who is a homosexual.
That's right.
And a molester and a rapist. Right. All right? We tell you that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people are in the Bible. And that you are the chosen people of Israel. That means something. Because Black and Hispanic people today, we have self-hatred. And which gives me back, it's going to get me back to the topic. If the brother don't show up anytime soon, as far as the stolen identity, why are we in captivity? And why we think, why we live the way that we are living, and why are we in captivity? But you got something? You want to say something? Go ahead.
They said that guy Sister Jay, he's supposed to be a gangster or some stuff. But you said gangster is nothing but a title though. Okay. But you're just a criminal, really. That's what you were.
Yeah. He had slept with his. Okay. Caesar Borgia. He has slept with his father's wife, and he raped his sister.
Yeah, I read that.
So he is a homosexual.
Right.
Also, too, he was with a man as well.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, it's a documentary about them. Personally, I did not see it, but I did my own research to show that that's proof. So like, if I may, if anybody wants me to go over that, as far as showing the proof of Caesar Borgia being, a homosexual, a rapist, a criminal, and him being with men, and things of that sort, to show that the Jesus that they show in the church is not Jesus at all. Plus, it does not match up with Revelations, the first chapter, or otherwise Revelations 1. 11 through 14, I would say. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. You want to say something?
The book called The Prince of the Macaphidia. That's what he called.
Say it again.
The Prince of the Macaphidia.
Most damn right. You're right about that. I forgot about that. Yeah. Most High Christ. Okay. All right. Come on. Yeah. I definitely. I'll bring that out. I'll definitely bring that out. So yeah. So anyway, long story short, let's get back to the precepts.
One call.
Yeah. If you could give me 1 second. All right. Hey, shalom, no price to the sister that who just chimed in. How you doing, sis? All right. Let me see. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. And in nakedness and in want of all things. Now, can you break that down for me?
And in nakedness and in want of all things.
What exactly is that talking about?
So in nakedness, want of all things, clothing, housing, water, medicine.
Yes.
All kinds of resources.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Everything.
Yeah. You're trying to feed your family. You ain't got no job.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't got no source of income. You are naked. It's not talking about physical nakedness. It's just talking about what you're going through.
Right.
You don't have nothing. Like for example, a lot of Black and Hispanic people would say that if you don't have your peace on you, your peace being your gun, your weapon, you are naked. If you don't have your culture and you don't know your culture, you are naked. You know what I mean?
Right.
Meaning that you have nothing.
Right.
All right. So let me see. And the one need for all things, meaning that you need everything. Why do you need everything? It's because you have nothing.
Right.
So you need all the resources. All right? Because everything has been taken away from you. That's the point. That's why this is a stolen identity. Everything that you had as a people, as being an Israelite, was stolen from you. That's why we have to relearn Lashawan Kodash, which is holy tongue. Our holy tongue. That's what Lashawan Kodash means, right?
That's right.
Now we have to learn how to be a brother again, to be a sister again. Now we have to learn to stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, so on and so forth.
That's right.
Now we have to learn to not do drugs.
That's right.
To not, get into the habit of just holidays and everything that says oppressor, America, East Indians, Africans, Ishmael, all that stuff. We have to unlearn that. And that's sad. We are one in need of all things. All right. We need everything that we once had. And we're trying to get it back right now. But because everything's been taken away, we need everything. We need the shelter. We need the food. We need the water. We need everything.
That's right.
All right. All right, so go ahead, keep going.
Deuteronomy 48 and 40 of Salaki. Deuteronomy 28 and 49.
No, still more on that as far as in the nakedness and the one
Okay,
that needs
Salaki.
Yep.
48. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon their neck until he have destroyed thee.
Now, of course, this is physical, right?
Right.
But not only is it physical, but it's spiritual as well. So the yoke of iron there's a big, it's a big yoke of iron around your neck, a metal, and then in most cases you have the spikes that will go up. And the reason why the yoke of iron was there is because if you were a slave and you try to run away, you couldn't run too far because it's so heavy. It's metal. Right. And you might run into something, so it would stop you from running away and fleeing. So that was something to use to stop the slaves from getting away for so far, right? Otherwise, the yoke of iron, when it says that it would destroy you, what else is a yoke of iron? That thing that is choking you from getting away.
I guess you could call them other things. What they call a pillory. Just put your head in there and lock you against the.
Okay. That's that. Yes, what I'm saying right now, 2022. What is that yoke of iron on Black, Hispanic, Native Indians?
Okay, how you work us so hard on these jobs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You work out so hard. Some of people you won't get weeks or nothing else. Some of us commit suicide by all that.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sister that is. Y'all talk. She's made in psychology, and she worked at 7 days. I think she worked at 12 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
It messed up so she committed suicide and everything behind it. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the yoke of iron we talking about. How they burn us to work so hard and they felt nothing. If we can't enjoy our kids, nothing like that either.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's one. I would say child support.
Child support, yeah, that messed some man so badly.
And the reason why I say child support is because it says, "Upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." Child support has destroyed Black and Hispanic people.
I know his brothers on Facebook, and his wife put child support on him. He got a new job. He took him off the job, put him in jail. He lost his job. He locked him up.
God, of course.
And he said, "This woman messed me up." That's how he said. Yeah. I don't see why he would want to do that. The man working, he could have given him a court date. He could have handled the system, but no, he locked him up. He worse than where he been in.
Yeah. Also, too, if I may,
white man's the devil.
Yeah, I will press this devil. Damn right. Damn right. Now, I was gonna say there's a very sad story about a brother in the city of Detroit, and pretty much he had to pay child support for children that were not biologically his. He found out later that they were not his kids, and the judge still made him pay child support. So as a result, he committed suicide.
That's sad.
And yeah, man, it's such a sad story. You know what I mean? And once you read more about it, it might bring you to tears. You know what I mean? Because it's very sad. This man had to pay child support for children that wasn't his own, and it was forced by the judge. You can't tell me that our oppressor is not the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You gotta understand where you are at, where you are living, where you are born. Our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
That's what it is. All right. So anyway, let me see. Let's just have a question of a Most High crisis. Let me see. I was getting let me see. I was getting written down, and a girl was using sage and telling me that I had a darkness attached to me and that it wasn't a good spirit, that it was something dark and left me when she burned the sage. And that was when I was turning into class before I made my first call, but I didn't care what she had to say, especially after seeing Mission to Akuna, forget what everyone else was saying. I want to end. You know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you this. You know what I mean? That sister had a demon on her, all right?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know, I'm not sure what the whole backstory besides that is. I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, you had something going on. I don't know. You know what I mean? Unless it's more detailed than that. But I mean, whether you had a demon on you or not, that sister definitely had a demon on her. But of course, I would say if you did have a demon on you, of course, like you said, the mission to Akuna is what made you make that call. So if you did have a demon on you, like she said you did, I mean that demon was casted off of you to make that first phone call. So if we could give her a hand, you know what I mean? What that sister should have did was do the same thing that you did, which is why you are in the school today. She should have made that call right next to you instead of burning sage. Sage is just a goddamn herb.
That's right.
Sage does not burn off demons. When you change your life and be obedient to the Most High, that is what casts off demons.
That's right.
That's what that does. All right. Sage is something magical and just, you know, just all in your head. It's fairy tale. All right. Native Indians do sage as well because of the other gods that they used to serve. Otherwise, Native Indians in our true records did not burn sage. Sage does not cast off any spirits and things of that sort. It does not. Also, too, sage helps with memory, by the way. Like if you drink sage tea, if you put sage in your food, they say the benefits of sage can help with memory, help with this, and help with that. But do not put spirituality, don't put religion into it. Herbs are just herbs, you know what I mean? Water helps with dehydration. We know that. Don't put too much into it, all right? Fruits and vegetables, like don't make it a god, okay? It's not that damn serious. Do not make it into a god. You should worship the one who made everything. Instead of worshiping the fruits and vegetables, worship the one who made it. Go ahead.
Yeah, the herb is supposed to be used really for medicinal purpose. You supposed to, like you said, light up, like it's supposed to take away demons or smoke.
Right.
Catch lung cancer. That's usually eat
right
for certain ailments. Just like I eat raw broccoli, that stops me from being irritable. It helps me stop.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like fruits and vegetables, herbs, all that stuff. It has a purpose for it, but burning it's not going to help you. Like burning, you know, smoking weed. That's not of the Lord. That's of Satan. That's of you. Okay. That's all it's about. All right. So like, can you go to verse 49?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Yep.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle fly. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Okay, hold on one second. Salaki. I'm sorry. Read it again, Salaki.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle fly. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
All right, so I have went over this before, right? So the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, right? So from a different place, okay? A place that we don't know about. From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Now I asked this I believe last week. Yeah, last week. What is the symbol of America right now?
You have the symbol of the eagle.
What was the symbol of Babylon?
They probably had the eagle, but I don't. It's like I really don't know.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to say. If you're right or wrong, what was the symbol of Roman Empire?
I think it was the eagle.
So you are right. So all of it was the eagle, just to show you and let you know that this is the new Babylon, the new Rome, America. Go ahead.
I see the daughter of what it was, Mount Seir, and he had that same English, same image.
Time. Yeah, damn right. So yeah, so it's still like America today is no different than Babylon and Rome. All right. You know, most of our captivities. Okay. So these are going to be estranged people. Like to this day, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians don't know how to speak English that well.
No.
But what I've seen is that when we speak our true language, we have more knowledge. We are more in tune. We are more we are more like involved as far as our own language, and we can speak it better. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, and then also too, they all a lot of people. When I say a lot of people, meaning like scholars, historians, they say that English is the most difficult language to learn or understand. That's why people have a hard time with it. So, you know, I mean, like as clear as you can hear me talk. I mean, hey, I may say a word that, you know, may sound completely different than what it actually is. Like for example, as a kid, it's funny, right? As a kid, when I grew up, I used to always say, you know the word phone, right? Phone, like, you know, your cell phone. Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Phone, right? You know, I used to think that it was spelled Phone, because how it sounds, that's how I would spell it. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, I would think that's phone. But they say Phone.
Right.
Like, and then they say shit is silent. And the UPK, or as far as our language as Israelites, Lashon Kodash, Holy Tongue, Ancient Hebrew, right? Nothing is silent. Either it says that or it doesn't.
Right.
So we don't add shit. You know what I mean? We, you know, we make sure, you know, you get the proper form of how to say something.
Yeah.
All right. We don't add things and be like, oh, that's silent. Like, what in the hell does that mean that it's silent? If it's silent, it should not be there.
Right.
All right. So, you know what I mean? So as I grew up, you know, phone was Phone, but of course, you know, and in Esau's world is Phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just as a simple, you know, example. So yeah. All right. Give me a second. Let me see. All right. So as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. I pretty much already I broke all that down.
That's right.
All right. I broke that down. And so yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. Okay. All right, give me 1 second here. Salaki, I gotta put a new slide. Khan says, hey, damn right. I mean, it's very much deceiving. It's very much confusing. You know what I mean? I don't blame a lot of, you know, brothers and sisters who don't know how to speak the language. Do me a favor, warrior. That's brothers outside. All right. Yeah, pardon me. 104, right?
Okay.
No sweat. All right. So yes, you know, you're absolutely right about that. So once again, that's why we don't, you know, really, you know, care about Esau's little, you know, language and things of that sort. Like that's why I love Lashon Kodash, because I'm able to really know my language. When I thought English was my language, but it's not, you know. So yeah, so you're right about that. Otherwise, let me see here. If anybody got any more questions, let me know. Just type it in the chat, and I'll get to it. All right. Okay. That's a normal question.
Normal question.
All right. So yeah, you got like that. Water. Yeah. So with that being said, if anybody else got a question, let me know. Hey, hey, I do understand that. You know what I mean? A lot of us have the same issue as far as that. I mean, also too, it's really about where you're from and how you grew up. As far as the school systems, because you got a lot of poor school systems who don't know how to really be a teacher.
That's right.
That's why we should have our own people be teachers. That's what's gonna help us. Okay. You know what I mean? Look, like I'm telling you right now, I say certain words funny all the time, and it sound like a brother slurring. You know what I mean? I can't say certain words. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Just catch it when you catch it. All right, I'll say that much. Okay.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I sound like I'm drunk. Sound like I'm slurring, and you like, wait, what is he saying? You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Certain words sound different, or I hear it differently in my head, but hey, I swear. All right, is there more on that?
Let's see, we'll go finish up on nature of finish cognizant.
Cognizant. Verse 50.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of a fair continent.
Yeah, that's right, continents.
Which shall not regard a person of old, nor show favor to the young.
All right, so a nation of fierce consonants or consonants. What does that mean? Consonants or consonants? It's really countenance. What is a countenance?
Probably something cruel or mean.
I like that. Okay. Okay, it's okay. A fierce countenance is that, but a countenance is more about body language.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Body language. So a fierce countenance is. Explain to me what a fierce countenance is. How would you describe it for someone?
A fierce countenance is a nation of people that just have.
No, not a nation of people, but a fierce countenance.
A fierce countenance. A person that don't have compassion of other nations. Just
no, not nation, right?
I'll be sloppy.
All right, I want you to read it one more time.
Okay.
I want you to read it from the top, all right?
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of a fierce continent.
All right, stop right there. So don't focus on the nation part, right?
Okay.
A fierce consonant. You said a consonant is like what?
It's a strong face.
Okay.
I ain't never looked at the definition of.
All right, cool. All right, so a fierce consonant is, okay. Describe the interactions between police and black men, and that should give you your answer.
Well, the interaction is just cruel and evil when they interact with us.
So a fierce consonant is what?
Cruel and evil.
There you go. All right. That's what a fierce consonant is. Okay. It's cruel, it's evil, it's bad, it's not good at all.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That's what it is. So a nation with a fierce consonant. The nation of Esau, or it's like the nation of Edom, has never been nice or kind. And there's proof in the scriptures, and there's outside the scriptures to prove that. By the way, I mean, if you have ever had a experience with Esau in general, that went sour, you would know that what their true colors are. You know what I mean?
Con.
And I'm sure, I'm sure all of us have dealt with Esau at one point in time. If you haven't, get ready, because this earth is just getting worse and worse and worse. It's not getting better. Go ahead.
I have credit for point guns on me. want to shoot me.
Hey, trust me, I got stories of my own.
God,
but that's a different day, a different story.
I was scared though.
You know what I mean? So Esau is Esau.
Right.
That's why I want you to read the second part. Go ahead, real quick.
And next of first college, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
So once again, they don't give a damn who you are, if you're young or you're old.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
They don't give a damn if you're young or you're old. They don't give a damn at all. They will kill you.
Right.
All right. They will hurt you.
That's right.
Have you heard of Trayvon Martin?
Definitely.
Have you heard of Samir Rice?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like that's gonna happen. Sandra Bland.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, it's like you don't care who you are, killer, y'all. A kid could go out with a toy gun, but an empty till. You know it's gonna be still kill.
Because they are who?
The devil, the Bible speak of.
Give them hand. All right, Salaki, were you ready?
Only if you want to give it up.
No sweat. That's it.
Gonna stop you from shining.
I got you. No sweat. Hey, Salaki, y'all give a hand to Officer Munga Bar. All right. Teacher. All right.
All right, Salaki. Hey, let's keep that going for Peace and Officer Mike, Peace and Officer 5,000 Academy. Holding it down to my absence. The water, sir, as always. In the Bible way, I got you, brother. So I'm gonna just plug in real quick.
No, you good. You need something else. You got everything.
Yeah, kind of should be all right. All right, this ain't gonna be long. Yeah, this ain't gonna be long. All right, so we're just gonna spearhead a couple points, kind of going off of and actually kind of a perfect segue to what Adam was talking about. Identifying the people who we in competition with, who we in this race with. Everybody talks about, race don't matter. I tell that to George Washington, man. Tell that to Thomas Jefferson. Tell that to the brothers and the sisters on the Trail of Tears.
That's right.
And Wounded Knee. Tell that to Geronimo and Red Cloud and Sitting Bull. You know what I'm saying? Tell that to them. The race don't matter. Tell that to Nat Turner and Pancho Villa. You know what I'm saying? Tell that to these brothers. Tell that to these oppressors who had specifically used that as their reasoning to colonize. And that's a politically correct way to put it, I guess. Rape, rob, and murder would be more historically accurate, though. So we can't forget who they are, which means you better not forget who you are. Let me get Zephaniah 2:1, bro.
Zephaniah 2:1.
Baba Kushai, Zephaniah 2:1. You cannot forget who you are in the midst of all this. World War III, we've been talking about this for a little bit now. World War III, pandemic, even like with the stock markets and all that, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, even in the midst of all that, the enemy did not forget who you are, and be quite clear, this is our enemy. Oh, real quick, Shalom, y'all Bashim Shabbat thumb to the brothers, y'all Shamar Latham Bashim, y'all shout to the sisters.
What you say, 10 and what?
2:1. Zephaniah 2:1. We gotta stay focused, we gotta laser in. And you're not gonna know what the strategy is, what the battle plan is supposed to be, unless you get it from these records. What was written aforetime was written for our learning. Everything that we are dealing with now, we can show you almost verbatim the same problems that our brothers and sisters had back then. And people want to argue that you can't use 2,000, 3,000-year-old philosophies and techniques to solve current issues. That's a damn lie and a very foolish statement. And those foolish statements will get people killed. And Salakia, again, Salakia to that sister and her family, Lord be with her, may she rise again. Joy Morgan, man. Because of that philosophy, that vain philosophy, that empty philosophy that them brothers had, that she trusted. She trusted them. Well, I was bringing out earlier about that rank. You want that rank, no sweat. responsibility comes with that rank. Lives are in your hands with that rank. And it's taken serious over here. You're not going to find that commitment over there. Now, test the waters all you want. Be careful. And don't take too damn long, man. Like, I know we still here, you know, we're waking up every morning, we breathing, this, that, and the third, but don't take that for granted either. There's work that needs to get done. There's brothers and sisters that are still high on drugs, still getting abortions, still raping, robbing, and murdering each other out there, still doing some wicked things at the behest of this devil, under their influence, without even having to be on drugs. The mark of the beast is here and now. The mark of the beast was with Yahweh time too. The Antichrist was with Yahweh time too. Also, Taraf, I'm sure he would love the chance to do a thorough breakdown on those topics. But for now, it's like read that.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together, ye gather together, O nation, not desired.
Nation not desired. Who's treating us like that right now? The brother was just talking about it. That nation of a fierce countenance. Give me a Deuteronomy 76. That nation of a fierce countenance. They treating us like that. Everybody abhors us. Everybody, the Moabites, Ammonites, and their offspring, and all the whatever convoluted branches that they've made throughout their years. The only people that we really ain't got beef with like that is Japheth. That they're like them's the only ones. We don't really bang it out with the Samoans or the Eskimos or the Aborigines. Samoans. If y'all don't know who the Samoans are, like the natives of the Hawaiian or Pacific Islands, kind of in that region, off over there to the side. We ain't really fighting with them like that. They're not really fighting with us, and that's prophetic also on how Japheth's character was going to be. Now we've already gone through how Esau's character was, and even though they are a Semitic tribe, we've gone over how Esau acts and their involvement in the detriment to the world and what our role is. So now, even though we are a nation not desired, we are to gather together. Whatever problems you got, whatever book club you in, whatever discrepancy you have, still challenge you to call in Across the Line Radio. Still challenge you to get involved with any school near you, and we can always sit down and hash these problems out. So you can always go to isupk.com, look up the school near you, get in contact with that camp leader, and have that conversation. It's worth the conversation at least. Now, a lot of people are going to be so dead set in their beliefs, and because of what they've gained off of that in the eyes of others, that they're not going to want to compromise their position just for somebody else's, just for somebody else's point to be made. They're not going to want to lose face in that sense. They don't have a face to lose. It's being brought out more and more as we go through this, as we see all these things unraveling and unfolding, that the battle is at hand, and it's time to choose that side. So now, what Deuteronomy 76 was gonna say, let's pull this up real quick. Brother had to step out for a second. Again, being that nation not desired. Being that nation not desired, and even though we are still together, what the Lord had intended for us, Deuteronomy 76, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That is to be our position. Now, if you go into Deuteronomy 27, 28, 29, you'll learn about the We got to head out. All right, so no pressure. We'll hook up soon. You're gonna learn more about the blessings and the curses. If you do A, B, and C, you're gonna receive 1, 2, and 3. If you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna receive 98, 99, and 100. It's that give and take that a lot of people again take for granted. There ain't no free will, and we can't forget that the reason that we even had laws in the first place was to separate us from all the other nations. The reason why there was that tree in the garden, the knowledge of good and evil, was that separation, was that dividing point between us and everybody else. Captain Tazariak uses the analogy of crack cocaine. Without smoking crack cocaine and being a crack whore, being a crack baby, you know the good things about life. And it still might be a little stressful. I mean, you got bills and you got a 9 to 5 you got to pay, and you got, some crazy ass kids, running you up the wall. But you know what it's like to not be a crackhead. Now, you decide to cross that line and smoke some dope. Now you know the consequences. Now you got the knowledge of that good and evil. You know the difference between the two now. Because golly, I don't want to get into detail about it, but all the things that people go through being a crackhead, being addicted to that drug and that lifestyle. It's not just the drug, it's the lifestyle that comes with it too. The people that you carry with you for years in that, the people that you're gonna lose in the blink of an eye. Now you know the knowledge of good and evil. You know that dividing line. Now you know what you should have done, and now you got that hindsight 2020 thing going on. Whereas you never should have had to. There was a very simple way of solving that problem by just not doing it, obeying the laws. So now this is our culture built up off of these laws that separate us from everybody else. Now, some of these laws include, real quick, running out of time here. Salaki came in late, but we're going to get a few of them. Some of these laws include, and this is the other thing too, everybody understands it from every other nation's standpoint in life, because nobody questions them, because they've got such a rich cultural background. I mean, they got such such knowledge and wisdom, ancient knowledge and wisdom. You got Shiva and you got Buddha and you got whatever that weirdo attorney Malik, like all those different African names and gods that he had, enunciated. Such a rich and beautiful ancient history to it. How could you turn a blind eye to that?
Right.
Until it comes to the Bible. And now again, nobody will question the so-called Jews, synagogue of Satan. Nobody will question them when they claim heritage to this either. If God forbid you press a finger on in their direction, they'll shut down your media, they'll shut down the music, they'll shut down everything around you. The banking systems, your monetary losses and gains, and blah blah blah. Because they got that power. And because we are that nation not desired, even though we are holy unto the Most High. So now all these different things that separate us from them culturally, that every other nation uses to tie themselves together and make themselves strong. We forget that about ourselves. Our number 2 strongest tool is brotherhood. Keeping these laws, keeping to our one power is number 1. Because that's what's going to back us up. That's what's going to provide our arsenal and our ordnance. That's what's going to be our defense in that final stand. Number 2, brotherhood. How do we survive without this? You've seen many examples. I mean, Crips and Bloods, even all the different times that all these different gang nations tried to join their flags together. That never lasted long. Greed, drugs, money, women. And especially with alcohol and drugs, not just because of the monetary gain behind some of that, but the mind effery. I can't say the full, but effery, you know what I'm saying? The mind expletive that's associated with it that takes you out your character. So now, First John chapter 4:20. If a man say I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. This is where we got to start with, again, defining ourselves against everybody else. Because loving the Most High, and we can get into some of these other ones at another time. So, like, again, running late. But if you say you love God, the definition of that phrase is you're keeping His law, statutes, commandments. But now, if you say you love the Most High, but you hate your brother, you are a liar. You can't love God if you hate your own people. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, walk by each other every day, man. Walk by each other. You don't know if it's going to be beef or peace. It can change up so quick. So quick. How can he love God whom he hath not seen? Physically, we never seen the Most High, but we see his works in places like this. In places like even in your homes. Even though South Dakota, sister might be by herself right now. My rib on the reservation, she might be by herself right now physically. But we see their works in their homes, the peace that comes to their life, in respect of everything else that's going on the outside. We see the works when we have high holy days and convocations and we gather together, and the camaraderie that we have, that we share within these rooms. The difference between us and them that needs to be defined. Brotherhood is one of those differences. Now, again, we see every other nation joining to themselves, locked in for their benefit. But we hate each other. Everybody wants to say they love God, especially all them Christians, especially all the Muslims. They want to say they love God, but they end up hating each other, and they show that in action. They don't show that they love God in action, but they think that they do. This is where you get to prove it. ISUPK.com. Contact the school near you. Pay your tithes. We got the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up July 22nd through the 24th.
Nah, July 21st to the 24th. 21st to the 24th.
The 21st through the 24th?
July, yeah.
From the 21st to the 24th. All
That.
right, so I was one day off. Kind of the water for the correction. I appreciate it. Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, from the 21st to the 24th in Chicago. Make your hotel arrangements ahead of time. You know, start jumping on that. June 12th. June 12th, we got the ending of the Feast of First Fruits. So again, get in contact with the people near you, with the school near you. Get your families together, you know, those that are applicable. And I think the one sister that asked if your mother was a Gadite, if she's gonna come out a Gadite.
I answer that. Yeah.
But like if your mama was a Gadite, her daddy was a Gadite, so she's gonna come back as a Gadite.
Well, as far as I know, I just heard more about the father side. So it's because you already see the father.
Right,
so
but
you would never come back as a different tribe.
Right, but her mom was a Gadite, so her dad would have been a Gadite. No. So her mom would have been coming back as a Gadite. That's what she was asking. Her
father was Issachar.
No, so like she was asking if her mom was a Gadite.
Right.
Would she come back as a Gadite?
Okay. Well, I had to see what you are seeing.
Her mom.
Right.
If her mom would come back as a Gadite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as that, yeah.
That's how it sounded, like how that was being posed.
How I answered it. It sounded like she understood it, so it's probably different. But otherwise, yeah.
Other case.
Yeah, like for example, I mean, if the heathen is
if the heathen is a heathen, they're gonna come back as a heathen.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come back in the same sex too. You're never gonna come back as a male in a female's body or a female in a male's body. Don't let them confuse you with that either. And again, these are some of the things, the dividing points between us and all these other nations. The wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Bible that was only given to the nation of Israel in and Jacob and his descendants and Adam and, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and this, that, and the third. It was only given to these people. It only lives in the UPK. Other people have the records, but it lives over here. It's actually practiced and established and executed over here. So with that,
one second, so sister, if I may, if you're watching, if you were asking exactly what the brother was asking, so whatever your father is, no matter if you are a Hebrew or heathen, you're going to come back as. You're never going to be a different tribe, things of that sort. So if someone is a heathen, they will always be a heathen.
right.
You know what I mean? Someone is a Hebrew, they will always be a Hebrew. If someone is a cat or a dog, they're always going to be a cat or a dog.
You cat or a dog, and I
You
can
know
come
what I
back to the
mean?
butterfly.
You know, an ant or a roach. I don't know. It's a lie.
It don't work that way. It's the
Yeah.
resurrection, according to the Bible, is not Buddhism.
Yeah.
It's not that, or Hinduism, or some other schism that exists out there that teaches a different philosophy based off how they feel about things. A lot of that is just based off emotions and what would make them seem so like esoterically like lifted up, like God, he's so smart, he's so influential, he's so, or she in some cases, I guess. You know, they just got so much ancient wisdom and knowledge, and hoorah for them. But it's in vain. And that's the culture that their people are built off of. We have ours. Now, unfortunately, we know the knowledge of good and evil because we've been ensconced in Christianity, Islam, this, that, and the third. So now we know the difference between what's right and what's detrimental to us. What's going to keep us protected, what's going to get us killed. With that, we're going to get into the security announcements. Again, Israelite School, UPK, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, which is actually the first opening of the security announcement. So we'll just repeat that again. Amalgam.
Hey, for the sister who asked the question, I see you asked a little bit more. I'll get back to you personally, all right? I got you. I'll answer your questions a little bit later. All right, go ahead.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. That'll be saluted only. They're here to set themselves in the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular, After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Being sent in the Hebrew, Ma'asur. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So now, as always, you can go to isupk.com. You can scroll down to the donate now button. You can make you can pay your tithes or make donations through there. In the messages, you can just designate what it is for. If they have a Zelle app, again, get in contact with the school near you. See what their payment plan is like. If they have the Zelle app, Israelite School. Israelite School is the first name. UPK is the last name.
Yes.
Ties@isupk.com is the email. And again, in the message, you can just designate what it's for: priest fund, donations, ties, this, that, or the third. Otherwise, again, get in contact with the school near you and see if they got a Cash App, Zelle, this, that, or the third. And so for our zone, $ all caps, UPK, Minnesota. You can make donations over here. You wouldn't pay your tithes here. Pay that through Zelle or through the website. Upcoming holy convocations, again, June 12th at sundown is when we'd start the closing of the Feast of First Fruits. Again, yeah, we keep on reiterating this. Go to the isupk.com website, find a school near you, see who's around, see what needs they might need met, see what you can offer, see what ask them if there's something that you need in return in order to contribute or to get there. Contact them to see what arrangements need to be made on either side. And then, even though this is not a holy convocation or high holy day, again, we got the fire weekend coming up in Chicago. So start getting ready for that. July 21st through the 24th. Any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pant, your headband, and or scarf. With that, we find the Akudam, which means turn face to east. And say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Bartazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latangana, Lacham, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakana, Kabawatana, Kasalakana, Kabawatina, Wala'ah, Tabiyana, Manasawam, Abal, Awshana, Mayan, Brad, Kayat, Laka, Amalakwa, Pa'al, Wata Pa'arat, Lawalami, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. Pray to bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Wayashal. Salaki. Barak Lanawa. Wayashal. Wahabayat. Sapari. Barak. Rapa'ah. Magan. Hagan. This time you can say the name of a loved one once. Everyone repeats that name once. If you're following us on social media, type in the name of a loved one and send the prayers up with you.
It's like school
UPK. Yahweh Shai.
Angels,
generals, captains, officers, troopers, students, sisters, children,
all of Israel. ISUPK
Minnesota.
Zion, Samuel, to South Dakota. Maracapa, Amagabar, all UPK schools, all UPK schools, all of Israel.
Moralaba.
Somebody also got to pray for a few people.
Sorry.
Just Bahaya Gabar. It's like Bahaya Gabar. Abaya Asap. You got it, go ahead.
Israelite School UPK. UPK Milwaukee. UPK Reds. UPK Minnesota. UPK Chicago. Maracapa. Ali. Jamie. Benjamin. All of Israel.
Captain Tazaria. Mary Ann LaForce. Tarak. Anwa.
Kudasayan.
Mangabar.
Kanagabar.
Kawan Yala. Kawa.
Kawa. Also Maccabi.
Also Maccabi.
Zara.
Izara.
Azar.
Sharat.
Sharat.
Taziyat.
Taziyat.
Kawana.
Mukawana.
Sapara.
Sapara.
One second. The Barma.
The Barma.
Kamakwa.
Kamakwa.
Kapakataza.
Kamkataza.
Kwamwa'o.
Kwamwa'o.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Tawala.
Tawala.
Yakudash.
Yakudash.
Kabatabak.
Kabatabak.
Kabatabar.
Kabatabar.
Takaya.
Takaya.
Satar.
Satar.
Shagariya.
Shagariya.
Cliff.
Cliff.
Kunayala.
Kunayala.
Barai.
Barai.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
You got it, William.
Desiree
Davis.
Desiree Davis.
All of UPK.
All of UPK.
Kwanyala.
Kwanyala.
That's it.
Bashimi Yahushua.
Hashim Yahushua.
Tuadama. In English. Lord in the name of Yahushua.
Lord name Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
I love you.
I love
you. In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you so be.
Thank you so be.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua. Select it. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers. The princes. The priests.
The priests.
Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
In the school.
In the school.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen. And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
Treasure list. So I said again.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
Send to thy sanctuary.
Thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
The nations.
And the drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
Court system.
Court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
National Space Program.
Space Program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
A radio
And
channel.
radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
Seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
Bring swift destruction.
To all the heathens.
To all the heathens.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
From broadcasting your words.
Broadcast your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth and consume them.
The earth consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief.
Let the place in the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
And the murderer.
Let Yahushua. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with flying saucers.
Punish all the heathens.
Punish all the heathens.
That come up against us.
Come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
That it's the angels that have done it.
It's the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it that come.
Cause them to shake it that come.
And then Yahushua.
And we have a shot.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be.
So be.
I saw at the front. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathon. There's a Matai. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Men of Israel, turn to the sisters. Mighty Shabbat. Mariam, Barak, Yahweh Samal, Atamba, Shimi Awashai, Yazmata, class dismissed.